Hello, Warwick. This is Patrick Maloney. I ran for mayor of Warwick in 2024. When running, one of my biggest issues was the high schools and that we couldn't have them built for $350 million. And now here we are, and it's going to be millions more. Last night, the Warwick City Council had before them a plan to send this back to the voters to give them another chance to vote on the schools, now knowing that we're getting much less for much more. And it was defeated. Now I want to tell you why it was defeated, and I'm going to keep this really quick. It was defeated because when I was running for mayor, I met with Joe Shekarchi, and he told me that no matter what, we needed to build these schools. We needed to build these schools no matter what. And I said, well, the costs. He said, don't worry about the costs. We need to get these schools built. I said, what do you mean, don't worry about the costs? He said, we'll figure it all out later. I said, does the state have any more money for us? No, the state does not have any more money for us. And then he introduced me to three people from the unions in the state, and they all said, we need to make sure we build these schools. So it's not about how much more it's going to cost tax-wise. It's not about whether it's the right thing for Warwick to do for our students. It's not about getting great new buildings. It's about the politicians in Rhode Island greasing the palms of the people that keep them in office. So if you want to get this new school system looked at, instead of calling your city council people or your mayor, why don't you barrage Joe Shekarchi's office with phone calls and tell him that you want to have this looked at again, and remind him that he's a Warwick representative and that he represents the taxpayers of Warwick and not all of the businesses that put money in his pocket so that he can run for office again. Get somebody to run against him. Get somebody to run against him, because that's the only way things are going to change. He's the most powerful person in the state, and he loves it. And good for him. Good for him. I'm glad. But you know what he should be doing? He should be working for the taxpayers of Warwick. He should be finding money up at the State House in our state budget, which is bloated to all hell, for money for these schools. It's ridiculous. So, and something I found interesting, Doge this week found out that $300 million was sent to Hamas to build tunnels to go through underground to infiltrate other places. $300 million for tunnels for Hamas. What do you think about that, Warwick? Certainly could have used some of that money to build our schools, right? So why doesn't Joe Shekarchi call up Jack Reed, Sheldon Whitehouse, Gabe Amo, and whoever the other guy is at this point? The other Democrat. Find us money. Oh, these schools aren't getting built. And if they do get built, remember, do not re-elect Joe Shekarchi. Joe, you and I have talked to each other many times and been cordial. This is not about whether I like you or not. This is about politics and getting things done. So guess what, Warwick? Start making that phone call and tell him he's not going to get reelected. Maybe things will get looked at again. But when I was running for mayor, to be told this needs to go through no matter what, regardless of whether we have the money, it's insanity.